Hi guys, Puddin here with the game for you and my Tier 9 Japanese cruiser, the Zao. Now, my captain skills are Priority Target, Expert Marksman, Superintendent, Demolition Expert, Advanced Fire Training, and Concealment. Now, my upgrades are Main Battery Mods 1, Aiming System, Longer Range, Damcom 1, Steering Gears for quicker rudder, and Concealment. Now, as you can see, I'm running obviously all premium consumables. I go with the Damcom or the defensive fire for carriers. I'm more afraid of carriers than I am destroyers. And I believe Hydro is for very aggressive ships, which I am not in my cruisers. Now, as you can see by the chat, I know and I have played with the APOC gentleman USMC, and that's why I asked him if he was in Discord. Might as well get in comms and communicate for better game. But there is a tier 8 carrier in here. Even though he is a tier 8, he still can pick off ships that are by themselves. Now, what I want to do is, because I am running defensive fire, I want to get with the main fleet, so just to help them with any potential planes, just to keep him at bay. Now, the other reason I am leaving sea is because what has been happening to me is when I go to sea is one or two guys will go to C, cap C, yay we got C, the bulk of the fleet goes to A, yay we're getting A, and the enemy gets B, and the guys at C are pretty much left out high and dry and are going to die. Now, I probably could have went to C, got in and got the cap, gotten out because I am a very stealthy cruiser, and this thing does have some very good speed, but that would have still taken me out of the game because, you know, I would really have to choose when to shoot and when not. So that is the reason why I am leaving C. A carrier really brings in a different strategy than you would normally go with, just because you need to kind of clump up in groups to have effective AA. Granted, this is a T10 game. It is only a T10 or a T8 carrier, but he can still pick off targets that go out by themselves. Now you can see our carrier is traveling to the north to hide behind C. I don't think that is the wisest move for him. He should be paying attention, seeing that the fleet is moving more towards A, get on the one line and just travel south at maybe a quarter speed, kicking up to half or three-quarter to, you know, just to keep himself away from A for the enemy that are there. Now, I believe, you know, in this cruiser, really, you know, I still stay at range because I seem to take bigger hits than I can dish out on enemy Zaos. I can take my first shots on the Missouri, failed to realize that he was slowing down because of the carrier, so my first two salvos are going to miss. Realize this, fire the front guns, waiting for the back guns to reload. And the reason I'm doing this is twofold. Obviously, I want to set fires, burn this gentleman down. It is his out after all. But I want to get rid of some AA to potentially help the cruiser. Not the cruiser, the carrier. Turn into that guy's shots. I see two people are looking at me. Still going to be able to get the front guns over the island. Notice the mountain symbol. But I know that the rear gun should be able to make it over the mountain there and hit the gentleman to potentially get another fire. But if you remember, I did say that there were two people looking at me, and that's why I started turning out. Hopefully trying to duke that guy into shooting where I was, like I was turning in. So hopefully he would put his shot short, thinking that I was still going to turn in, but one, really, I was turning out. There's not too much for me to shoot at. So really, I'm just going to line up my guns on the Missouri and hope I can get around this island and get some shots in on him. As you can see, our Hindenburg is taking massive damage. This guy's not going to live long. And it's, usually what I would do in a cruiser, I would play it very aggressive as a battleship. But with the Zao, I tend to stay back a lot more because of, prior to the stealth firing nerf, I would just really be that annoying Zao that's stealth fired. Take a shot in on Des Moines because one is the only guy I can get shots in on. And two, I want to get rid of him to help out our carrier who is stuck in behind sea with our NC and Mogami. Just trying to take a quick look at my targets. I'm trying to be smart about who I shoot at because I really want to spread out the love of fire. See the rune is Palan. There's no reason to use AP. I might as well just hit him with the HE, get him burning, get his damn com out, and potentially just burn this gentleman to death. I turn out to miss all of his shots, get another fire as the wild NC appears. Now what I want to do here is just keep my fire on the rune because I was trying to use these islands to protect me from the North Cal. I knew I wouldn't be able to hit the other two cruisers because of where I was positioning, but now that I've cleared these islands, I'm going to take shots in on the Hipper. Now I still want to use this island to protect me from the North Cal. And the way I'm using the island to protect me is, I know I'm spotted, I know he can see me, but what I'm hoping is when he zooms in, he cannot see my ship. All he sees is the island, and he's going to have to kind of take a guess on where I am at. Now, take my shots. The Hipper was running away, so I'm suspecting he finally got out of my view range because I'm not detected. Gonna take another shot on the NC, and this is the other reason I was wanted to use this island, was to try to get in some free shots without anybody spotting me. Now, the rune's out of my detection range. The NC's behind that island. There's no ship that I can clearly see that can clearly see me. Which means that the enemy DD is in the area. So I'm going to keep driving straight until I get undetected. I know my detection's just coming down, which is why I started my turn. I knew I didn't have any fear of any of the battleships that were in on B to take a shot at me, because as soon as they would get their guns on me, I would be undetected because I saw nobody was targeting me. See, the enemy Montana was going to wait for the rear guns, but I figured I might as well try to get this gentleman burning now. So when my rear guns do come into play, hopefully his damage con is out. No fires with those salvos. I'm going to take another shot, and then I see, well, if I can get behind this island, I might be able to slow down, stop, and just burn this gentleman to death. So you get one fire, get detected, gonna take another shot because this guy definitely used his damn com, and then I realized, well, there's nobody that can see me, it can't be him, it's DD, and when I zoomed out, I just caught a glimpse of the red, which was the DD there. Gonna take a shot in on this guy because as a cruiser, your food is destroyers, and whenever destroyer is spotted, you should shoot at them. As they get a nice 6,000 damage done to him. Gonna keep motoring because I'm broadside to everything that is at B, and the last thing I want to do is roll my dice on Citadel or no Citadel. Gonna take shots on the rune, but I make I want to say a classic mistake. Gonna keep shooting the rune. What I should have done was one fire, his dam comes out, shoot again, get that second fire. I should have slowed down, turned my guns, and shot at the low health Chapayev. Get another fire on the rune, so this gentleman's going to burn. So I take a third shot in on him. The reason I should have potentially, after the first fire, or first salvos, turn my attention to the Chapayev is because a battleship is going to have to shoot his guns to deal with a target that is low health. Cruisers should always, at least I feel, cruisers should shoot at things that are low health. Don't let your battleships waste a salvo on low health targets. Now, the reason I didn't even bother with the Chapayev is because I heard the battleship shooting, and I knew they were shooting at him because they needed him dead, they wanted him dead, and I had failed to do that. Now, I don't know at what part of this game we lost our carrier, but as you can see, we are down our carrier. Probably got deleted by somebody in from B looking at his general direction and just got rid of him. Taking shots in on the North Carolina, get one fire. I should have let those fires burn, and I should have shot at the Frederick and get a fire on him, then get my attention back on the North Carolina to get his damn com out and a fire on him as the enemy Zao appears. Now I've got HE loaded. There's no point in switching out. I might as well just take a shot with the HE because Japanese HE will still do very nice damage to broadside targets. But I switched to AP in the hopes that this gentleman was still going to be broadside. He is not. I keep the AP loaded, then switch to HE because I knew the gentleman was going to die because our friendly APOC gentleman here was going to finish him off as he did. So either he'd finish him or I would finish him. And I wanted to get back to burning targets down. Take another shot at the NC. I do believe his damn com is out. And if it's not, I'm trying to draw it out. Trying to see if I can get shots in on the Frederick. Now, if you can see by the mini-map, the enemy aircraft carrier is spotted. Seaplanes, I get my AA on the planes turning out. But at this point, I really didn't notice the enemy carrier. I really was trying to get a fire on this Fredericks in the hopes that I could set one and that this guy would not put it out. Fortunately, this guy puts out one fire. So, with that thought in mind, I'm like, you know what? We need to get rid of this carrier because we are still technically losing, even though we have 2 caps. So, the one we are down on points, and God only knows how much longer some of these ships can survive. Now, CVs are worth the most amount of points, which is why all of my attention is on him and not the Hipper, who is doing a smart move and going to C. The Hipper is taking shots in on me to potentially save his carrier, realizes that it really is a futile plan. As the Frederick comes in with a nice salvo, I still have my one fire burning on him. gonna take another shot in on the Lexington because I know the battleship is not reloaded, even though he's burning. Set another fire, and the fires are going to get this gentleman. We now finally get the lead in this game. Now, the reason I turned this way is because it's going to be the fastest way to get my guns on the bear, I thought. But the other thing is, I wanted to put some distance in on anybody who potentially took a shot in at me. I see this Frederick. I see that, he is fighting with our Iowa. I'm going to take a shot in on this guy to potentially help him. Luckily, I get 2 fires, finish off the Frederick. I don't know if those shots were USMC's primaries or if those were his secondaries, but either way, the shots that came from him did not kill him. So luckily for me, I did get him, did get the kill on him to save as much of his health as possible. And that's what I was really trying to do, was save as much health from USMC at this time, because if you notice, the other 2 battleships have an awful lot of their health. Don't want the low pen machine to potentially low pen the Iowa or pretty much anybody. So he's going to be my main target. Now, I'm a little bit too close into the Yamato to do one of my favorite battleship tactics, which is cut my speed and turn in. I just don't have enough time to do it in the cruiser. So I am going to take some nice, I'm going to lose some nice health to the Yamato, but luckily I have enough distance to where the Montana shells are just going to sail right over me. Now at this point, I'm going to have to just heal up, pray to God I don't get citadeled. I'm going to keep my speed up and turn out. I need to turn away from this guy because I'm getting in too close as I take some another nice salvo from the Yamato. And once again, the Montana just fails to connect. Trying to set another fire on his Yamato because it looks like this gentleman is running the captain skill that limits the number of fires he gets, which is why I put my spotter plane up in the hopes to get this gentleman spotted. Only get the Montana spotted as I take more damage from what I suspect is the Yamato. Now, the only thing that could potentially be spotting me, I believe, is the North Cow. There's too many things in the way for the Hipper on C to be spotting me. As it looks like USMC gets a nice solid hit on this. And see, I look, this guy's not turning. This guy needs to die because he is the one spotting us. We are losing C cap. We are going to lose A cap, but we did get B cap. We are winning on points. Those are my final shots. So now we're going to look at the post-battle results. 167,000 damage. As you can see, it was Cruiser Weekend. I got 0 medals, but I sent 3 ships to the bottom of the sea with no caps. I'm number 1 on the team with base experience of 2,000. So don't always need medals to be number 1. As you can see, I don't have premium camo for this, but I still walked away with some nice money. 113,000 damage coming from all of HE shells and 53,000 from the fires I did set. I really hope you guys enjoyed this replay. Please keep your replays coming in. We really do enjoy them. The email is in the description down below. Please remember, compliment good players, good teamwork. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day.